After a 21-day expedition across South Africa, this trio of kitted-out pickups arrived back in Johannesburg at Mahindra, East Rand. The Karoo Dusk, Karoo Dawn and Karoo Storm were piloted by 3 drivers from Specialized Adventures, and their journey totaled well over 8,000 kilometers. Neither of them had driven a Mahindra pickup before, and that wasn't the only unknown element of the adventure.
They said to us, we're not going to tell you where you're going, we're going to present you with a clue every morning. You decipher the clue, and from that information that you get, you will know where to go. And doing that for 21 days is not easy. The fact that you don't know where you're going is already an adventure. We drove the new series of Karoo pickups, the Dusk, Dawn and Storm, the limited edition series. I drove Dawn, Chantal drove Storm, and Jaco drove Dusk through 3 countries.
Our route went from Uppington up north into Namibia, west towards the Atlantic, down through the Richtersveld, through the Namakwa, down through the Cederberg Mountains to Cape Town, and then we went back up through the Karoo, around Lesotho, down into KZN, the Midlands, and we then went up into Lesotho at Sani Pass, came back down, and we went up through the Eastern Free State to Bloemfontein, and from there up north to Gauteng again.
And we had some very technical routes. It's actually started on tar and then went to longish gravel roads, and then the interesting stuff actually started to happen. We had to go into 4 low and climb over rocks and go through rivers. We ended up back here, 21 days later, back in Joburg.
Favorite place in all 3 of those countries is slap bang in the middle of the Northern Cape. It's called the Richtersveld. Extension of it, Namakwa Eco Trail.
For me personally, it was a town called Aus, A-U-S, in the southern part of Namibia. It's got a very rich history of mining and like smuggling. It felt like a cowboy town, like a western town. It's got great heritage there. There's wild horses from 100 years ago that was left over from the war. And we found those horses in the desert, so it was just a very interesting place with lots of history.
For me, Kamiskroon definitely stood out. It's a very, very small village just south of Springbok, which nobody really knows about, but it's got the most interesting history, and especially this time of the year, for as far as you can see, kilometers on end. It's the most beautiful flowers in the world.
What Mahindra has done is they've taken a very successful Karoo pickup and they added to it specialist accessories that is focused on off-road traveling. They've upgraded it with a suspension system that is unbelievable, a rear locker system that makes off-road driving so much easier.
The challenge that we faced was we couldn't really just use a GPS to navigate from point A to point B because we didn't know where we were going. So often we had to pull out a map and say, well, these are our options. We might have to go there, and we sort of split up and go investigate and come back. Luckily, we were able to overcome all of the challenges and we found all of our destinations.
Chantal had a high-speed tire blowout, which was it's never nice to hear or see over the radio what's happening. But the car suspension made it perform so well that she could recover it, because this happened at high speed on gravel.
I really enjoyed spending time in the bakkie. For me, it's important, to listen to good music while I drive. So the road noise abatement is very important for me. So if I can't hear my music, then I'm not happy.
Everything inside the vehicle just works. The seats, the angle of your legs. I'm actually very tall, so the angle of my legs is in such a way that it doesn't block the blood flow on your legs. You're so comfortable.
It's easy to get comfortable in that car. None of us has ever been in a Mahindra. None of us has ever looked inside of a Mahindra. So apprehension at first, that turned into being a die-hard believer and throwing away all these preconceived ideas of what you thought authentic bakkies should be.